Our Twin Flame community is really so much fun and really fantastic. It works, I don't know how to say that, like a clockwork, maybe you could say, like a divine clockwork for Twin Flames. That's actually a very good way to say it indeed. Or maybe it's like a musical clock. Do you know what a musical clock is? It's like, well, in like former centuries, they made it. I think they still make them, like these elaborate constructions that work on the day and the time and the hour, and they have all these, well, music that plays, and like puppets that are like in going in circles and coming forward all the time. It's like, ooh, and there we are again, and now we sing the song, this and that, and then it just continues. And now we sing the song again, and there we go again. Now the song again every minute or every hour or every 12 hours or 24 hours or what have you. And it's like a construct where that happens all the time. It's like a rhythm. That's because they were placed in a castle or in a town that was, a rhythm that was valid for the entire community there. And it was represented in this very fun thing. But this clockwork can even be the fact that you do, in our community, for instance, well, here you go. Now we make the step to the twin flame reality of our community. The fact that you do all the time twin flame inner work with the key tool. That's like as if this musical clock is like turning around again, and we do twin flame inner work again, and we do twin flame inner work again. Every hour we do it again. And actually, eventually you will understand that you will do it every second, every moment. It's just natural in your every moment life experience that you do this, that you're always in this deepening move, in this feeling out what it means to turn it around, and then coming in your deeper ground again, where you are already in union. That's the whole point of doing the twin flame inner work, with the turnaround inside of it. And the community is actually, yeah, it is the place where the musical clock is, like a clockwork that brings you, well, we have a Facebook group, and every month with the clockwork and all, there is the 4-event program again, in which you can experience for free. Well, it is actually donation based because you are allowed to give back 4 different entrances to this deeper work of the twin flame that you need to do for your twin flame success, right? 4 entrances every month, and there it is again, and there it is again, and there it is, like a musical clock. And that in itself is amazing, because it just gives you the rhythm with which you can tune in with yourself. And that's only the start of how the twin flame community functions. And this feeling of the musical clock that goes on and on and on, it's like an endless prayer, yeah, I mean, that's also literally what it is in another kind of way. That gives a force field, and the community has grown into a force field indeed. And then people get maybe nervous already about this whole description, like, what is the community about? And now it's a force field. First it's a musical clock that, I mean, sounds like maybe could drive you nuts or something. But it actually is to undrive you nuts. It's to make you sane, because it is about doing the twin flame inner work all the time, and again and again and again. And now we're talking about a force field, and you might be like, wow, you must be kidding me. Is that even healthy? So yeah, and that's sometimes where they start to say, like, oh my gosh, but is that even a good idea? Isn't it actually an egregore? Right? And that is actually what it is. That's a force field with a musical clock inside of it. It just means that it gives you a supportive environment for this kind of work. And it starts to become a vortex on itself that starts to attract you inside of it, so that through it you have actually a supportive environment for doing the twin flame inner work that you ought to do to be in your harmonious twin flame union. Because the environment also starts to work with you. You don't need to do it alone anymore. You don't need to go through this vortex experience on your entire own. Oh, I'm so alone. So you don't need to do that anymore like that. You can just do it together. And the first together is with the vortex itself, of the community itself, of the Facebook group itself, of being active right there. Our Facebook group, Your Abundance. Yeah, that's where it starts. And a force field or even an egregore is not scary. It just means that something starts to be working correctly. It starts to be loaded up with the energy that it is intended with and for. And in this case, it is not a scary egregore on the base of bad intentions and scary devils and whatnot. It is actually a force field that is here with a function to relate you to the divine itself, where you're already one together with your twin flame in your eternal union. That's what it's for. And the fact that that creates on the earth an energy vortex is just a given of how the earth functions. It is true that you can also create these kinds of vortexes about so-called quote-unquote bad things. That's possible too. Then you're devoid of the connection with the divine, where you're one with your twin flame. And here it is there. But there's still a form in which you can tune in. The form is still on earth. And earth means physical, and physical implies energetic. And energetic implies the vortex, which implies when it is rehearsed enough, when the musical clock is rehearsed enough, that it starts to become autonomous, automatic. That's when they also call it an egregore, because it's autonomous. When it is connected to the true twin flame work, well, that's just a fact that it works like that. When it is experienced enough. Not more, not less. But because you want to go to the true twin flame work and the results of that, it is actually in your favor. Because what that means is that autonomously, the community itself, online, worldwide, starts to help you autonomously in the right direction. It starts to do its work for you, with you already. That's why it's so good that you join. For you. And that means that what is attracted inside of it is everything that helps you for your union progress. Your twin flame might be literally attracted in it. We've had that happen at least twice in my community, that the true twin flame of a community member actually was attracted literally into the community online themselves, and that it was revealed to them that that was what had happened. Amazing. God works in mysterious ways, and such a vortex only makes that more easy for you. What can come in is your soul family members can come in, can be attracted just like you were attracted, because similar things attract similar things. Well, law of attraction, everyone talks about that, right? Can be attracted into the vortex in our community because you came in, they came in too. Soul family members can be so helpful for you on your twin flame journey. You connect with them, you have a new friendship, you work out with them, but you needed to work out anyway in your consciousness on your twin flame journey for your twin flame success. And now you start to work it out in that relationship as well, which has a much higher chance of literally working out what you need now, because it's your soul family for your twin flame success. It's much quicker worked out as well. It attracts money for you. The money that you need to invest in your twin flame coaching and whatnot on an ongoing basis. It will be partly also generated by that vortex itself. And the vortex will create more money opportunities for you when you stick around and commit and open relationships with other people inside the community. Because that's what will happen eventually. That's what it's also for. To stimulate that and to literally start to do that more and more. The more we develop, the later it becomes, the more that will happen. You can also become a twin flame creation coach later on, under the same umbrella, with the same branding, with the same teaching, with the same tools through which you can make money as well. That'll all be developed inside of this vortex so that you can make money and your mission can click in here as well. And the abundance that will be attracted into your union life through your mission can also be starting to come through this vortex of the community, literally to you. Advice for what to do for the twin flame next step for you. Where for uniquely you the twin flame actually is located. Knowing where that is and that kind of advice to get that will be much more close by when you're in it and part of it. Because God speaks through it. Divine Mother speaks through it to you. And also through me to you. Of course, because I created, I'm here to lead it, etc., right? I'm an integral part in it. I'm the first person that is there, the teacher in it. And then secondly, I'm also taking part in it. So many options for you in a community. And we've seen this work all the time. It starts to work on you. And I pointed out for people like, hey, maybe you need to share in a community that, and then, sharing in a community will make it much more profound for you. The working of that healing part that you just have been sharing the story about will sink much deeper in for you. Or you just invite true correction sometimes, or advice or a tip when you would share it. Becoming active in it starts often with sharing, of course. Because that's how you start to put in it. That's how you start to take part in it. That's how you start to give into it. Socially, monetarily is also a point, but socially also, emotionally also. And that's also how you activate it, this clock, right? to give back to you. It's truly how it works. Sometimes we've seen that people, they get their soul family members, they get their true twin flame in the community. I do point out to them, hey, maybe you should share that in the community so that it works out well for you, better for you. And hey, this is a small piece of a tip for you. And what we've also seen is that people are not really aware of the power that is present there. And sometimes even that people say or they don't say anything, they just ignore that. They just don't do it, or they don't take it too hard what they hear in the community. They think it's just a matter of, oh yeah, well, she said share in the community, but whatever, I'm not going to share that in the community. Just going to do my own thing here. Oh yeah, I heard that there was a soul family member, but I mean, yeah, I'm just shrugging that off, whatever that means. And that is also how you can undo the working of the community for you. By ignoring it, by rejecting it. That's possible too. We've seen that as well. But the beauty of it is that God keeps on giving. Divine Mother keeps on reaching out to you through the egregore, the musical clock of the community, through me, through the community, as of course the leader of the community, the spiritual teacher of the community. There could be such a beautiful, intricate weaving together of so many forces that can be so helpful for all of you in the community. But you have to let it happen, of course, and not say no to it, right? You have to participate. You have to join. That's when it starts to work for you. The truth of the matter is that we've created like an entrance to the divine for you here. And twin flames are created in the divine. You're already in union there. So the more you allow yourself to sink into that, the quicker and the easier it becomes to realize that in the flesh as well. Simple as that. There's no need to be afraid of it. I just wanted to be honest about that and open about that and bring some terminology into it that I hope speaks to your imagination as well, and explain a little bit how this magical world of how this can work with whatever terminology you bring into it is connected here to the true divine door. And that's how this works together. That's how the divine works together with the created world that is physical and energetic, which also implies the vortex, etc., that we've discussed. And that it always works like that. Even if you would not want that. Oh yeah, and that's like a good example of something that was like, I didn't even want that, I wasn't looking for it, but there it was. It is the angels. God's angels specifically came to me, to our community, when I was doing God's work, sharing it in the community. And then it was one day, it was like, oh, someone noticed that angels were showing up. And was like, you're right, they are. Because I was sharing this with you, and they come just around us to honor that. Because this is the goal of God at this moment, to roll this out in the universe, being with your true twin flame in a harmonious union, and that is for everyone, as the foundation of your life and your spiritual life. That is so supported that just angels come literally to help that exist and be fruitful. And I was like, yeah, that rings true to me. That's what is happening here. Wow. Because I never wanted to be like an angel place. I never wanted to be an angel lady or something. But that just attracts it. That's logic. It's normal. It's like the door of heaven is opening, so here are your angels to protect it, to help people through the door. Yeah, just so beautiful. And so logic too. I mean, God is like the most logical person I've ever met. It's like stunned every time that the logic comes through again. Miracles are happening all the time in the community. That's like the norm. That's the norm. Healing miracles when you open up, step into the community and start to receive. Miracles are the norm. I see it all the time. I experience it. And I'm sort of like the first experiencer, and then I set the tone, and it's possible for the rest too, right? Miracles. It's really miraculous how it even works, how it functions. It's a miracle in itself to have this door. And it's like a blessing to be honored, to be the passer on of that, to be standing with that door here. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it's really beautiful. It's really amazing. And I do that for you so that you can make use of this miraculous atmosphere that will just start to happen for you already without us doing anything. And that's the beauty of it. But of course, for the most people, it starts to happen only when they truly start, and that'll be for most people when they start to come to their coaching sessions every week. That's for the most part where people truly start to let it in, right? And then the healing miracle is often more easy to receive by people. And that still is within the vortex. It's like a heightened way of participating. That is advised for everyone. Yes, the community. It is the divine egregore. It is the magic that makes that the miracle can start to come in. That's what I'm in the business of. Of nothing else I am in the business of. Within that reality, we can do many topics. As far as I'm concerned, we can do artistry, we can do creativity, we can do business, we can do write your own book, we can build your entrepreneurship, we can work on your sexuality and identity issues, we can do trauma healing, we can do psychological insights that fall into place so that the topic dissolves, what I've been talking about a couple times last weeks. There are so many things that we can do inside of that I'm totally for. Oh yeah, physical healing, of course. Don't forget that. One of my favorite things that I first experienced myself as well. I'm like the first person that dove into it, right? And then I pass it on as an extension. Like body healing. And also with food. I love that. Working with food. A healed food life. It's one of the things that I'm sort of most proud of, if I could say that. And also benefiting the most of. in a sense. Oh my gosh, that was so supportive. Anyway, so we could do so many topics inside of that foundational fact of we have the magic that makes the miracle come in. So that's how it works. Maybe good to know. Don't be afraid of it. It's how it's supposed to be. Don't resist it. Don't think that my small indications for you between our sessions or what have you mean nothing. They can mean the difference between your next miracle and you staying in your rejected space. All right, so I hope that helped. And of course, come into the community. We have links below to start up where you feel like starting up. Much love from Petra. Hello, I'm Petra. I can help you go to your consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union quickly. This is unique in the world. You need this consciousness state to be able to be with your true twin flame and really start to build this life together in this beautiful relationship that is a romance. Your abundance will start to flow to you in that consciousness as well. It will be in the joy that it's really supposed to be about. You can do that in my embrace, so to speak, in my coaching. I invite you to come to my community on Facebook. When you're there, there's a lot of information just like that. And there is a program that you can tap into every month. And there are lots of other extras. The people in my community have the possibility that is unique for group members to come to my key sessions. And these are beautiful, small coaching sessions. And I advise for you to try them out, maybe again one day, and then phase yourself into an ongoing relationship on a weekly basis. And that will truly be how I can bring you to that consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, and things will start to work out for you beautifully. Now, if you want to have a real deep moment where the true healing starts to hit you immediately, you can give yourself a VIP treatment in my VIP sessions, of course. They are 2 hours long, plus preparation, plus theory and workbook afterwards, plus asking questions afterwards is possible still as well. You can grant yourself a VIP treatment and, for instance, give yourself one of them every once in a while when you are in the community or not in the community. Though the VIP sessions do work wonderfully in combination with the community as well. These are the main ways I can help you, and I guarantee your success. I'm looking forward to work together. And if you are wondering if we could, work together and if it would work out and you have your questions and you might want to ask them, then you can ask for your strategy session. Go to the description box below, open it, and there you will find the link to your strategy session. You fill in your name and whatever more was asked. And you press the button and I will answer you real soon. We'll make an appointment and talk online face to face real soon. I'll see you soon. Love from Petra.